Alright, what's going on, guys? Chris from Auto Academics here, and we are on part 2 of our Audi A5/S5 B&O sound system speaker replacement. I did an earlier video first, which was a how not to. So feel free to check that one out. It dealt mainly with the with replacing the center dash speaker that I received from Bruce Miranda, and I will leave his website link in the description below. And today's video is going to be part 2, where I deal with the front door speakers. Now there are 2 speakers in here. You have your mid-range speaker there, and then your woofer down there, and those are going to be the 2 speakers that we are going to be taking out today and replacing. Hopefully everything goes well, and well, we'll see what happens. Now, before we get into any further, we're going to take just a minute to discuss some of the materials that you will need. All right, so for starters, I'm going to show you the speakers themselves. And so right down there, we have the old woofer, the old mid-range. Those are the B&O versions. And these are the new versions that I got from Bruce. This is a new woofer, and that is the new mid-range. I forget the names of them, forgive me, because Bruce provided all of the new speakers with the proper connections. Whoops, there we go. With the proper connections on the ends. He terminated all this stuff so that it is literally plug and play. All you have to do is bolt the speakers in, and they plug right into the original OEM connections. Okay? Yeah, those are the speakers. Oh, and I'll list the speakers, the actual names of the speakers, in the description as well. Okay, so starting here now with the materials that you need. As you see on the ground there, I've got a moving blanket, which has come in very handy so that I can place my door panel down, the door card down, once I take it off, so that it does not, you don't have to worry about scratching it or anything like that. So I place that down there on the floor. I have a pair of scissors. I have some needle nose pliers in case I need to fish something out. I have a nice, I believe it's a 1/4 inch ratchet. This is a, oh gosh, what size is that? I'm not sure. 14 millimeter? No, 1/4 inch. There's a 1/4 inch socket, and I have a bit. I believe this is a T20 bit that I'll be using to take all the screws out. Nicely, the screws both for the door panels and for the speakers are the same size. You can use that same bit for all of that. I have some Amazon Basics sound deadening material. I saw that. It's a nice cheap way to just add a little extra sound deadening. It's not necessary. The factory doors already have some sound deadening in them, but I figured, why not? While I'm in there, add a little bit more. Flashlight. Have my trim removal tool, which I've got a bunch of them, but I found that this one actually is the one that works the best for me on this part of the project. And then I have some multicolored Velcro. You can pick whatever color Velcro you want. Oh, and last but not least, a nice little step stool, so that you have some place to sit. Okay. I think that about covers. Oh, and I also have my drill here also, because that just makes things a little bit easier as well. Especially when I'm taking bolts and screws out, makes it easier to take them out, but then I can use the ratchet to put them back in so that I can hand tighten it and, you know, actually feel how tight it's going. Okay, let's get started. Now, the very first thing you want to do is take any leftover junk out of your door so that you don't have to deal with any of that. Next, you have to take off this carbon fiber trim piece here. Typically what I've done is I start in the corner here and just gently, just very gently, twist until it pops. Slide down a little bit. Twist and pop. Slide down a little bit more. Twist and pop. Twist and pop, and then, oh, there's one more. That came off very easily. So what I wanted to show you before it literally just popped and fell off was that it actually has this angled part here that you really want to be careful with, because it fits right inside there. You angle it in, and then it kind of lines up where your clips are going to go. So you want to make sure that you don't try to pop that end off. So you always start on the small end, the thin end, the narrow end, and then work your way to the larger end where that hook is to latch it in. I'm going to place this on my blanket. And then the next thing we're going to do is get started with the actual door clips themselves. Okay, so I'm going to start down here at oh no, getting ahead of myself. This is now where I need to start drilling. Alright, so there is, let's see if I can get the camera for you guys. There's a screw just under there. There is one here, and then there's another one in there. Okay, so there are only 3 total that you have to deal with to get this door card off. Again, I've got my drill. This is a drill with a clutch so that, you know, I can use it and not over tighten stuff. Makes things nice. But I'm going to turn it up to 10 so that I have enough torque to get this bolt out. They're not in there pretty tight, but you know, maybe they are in there kind of tight. That's all right. I got something for it. Now, whatever you do, you don't want to strip it. That is for sure. Let me get my hand ratchet. The last thing I want to do is strip this. So, get in here. There we go. Now I'll use my drill to work it the rest of the way out. All right, first screw out. Put it in a safe place where I know I can find it. Remember again, these are T20 bits for these screws. Number 2. And number 3. All nice and safe. Now we can take our trim tool and start getting to work with that. So, actually before I do that, I need to clear off all those speakers off of my my blanket so that I have a place to put it. Hold tight. Alright, I'm back and I think I have enough space now to lay the door panel down, so here we go. I'm going to start down in this bottom section first. Let's see if I can, there we go. I'm going to start just right down here. Now, you've got the metal part, and then you have the plastic part for the door card itself, okay? So just get your, I use a nice thin trim removal tool in there, and just gently twist until you hear it pop. And then just kind of slide your tool around. Hearing it pop. It's all good. Those are just the clips being released. And something that I learned was that when I did the passenger side first, I learned that the clips are actually metal, so you don't have to worry too much about breaking them the way that I did with, well, no secrets being told, the other video. Okay, this is the part now where I have to be a little careful because there are a lot of wires in there. There are actually there are two wires that I need to disconnect, and then there's also the door handle cable. And so I just want to make sure that I'm careful taking this off so that I can disconnect all of those things without breaking anything. Give you a quick look inside there. So as you can see, we have speaker cable there. It's not very long. We have our door pull cable there. And then we have whoops. See the door pull cable starting to come off now. And then we have, let me turn the camera around, that blue clip right there with the little white tab. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys all of this when I'm holding it. I'll see. So that's the door cable. This is that plug there. And last but not least is this. Let's see. Try and set the camera up so you can see it. This is literally just a connector that you just have to squeeze to release it. Come on. Squeeze to release it. Come on. It's hard doing this while holding the okay, I finally got that clip off. I don't know why that was so challenging this time, but for whatever reason, it was. But anyway, you literally just have to squeeze it to get it to release the tab. There's like a little part up here that you squeeze to release the tab. Okay, so yeah, that was that part. All right, now we'll take a quick look. These are all the original components in there again. So here is your door latch cable. There's the old speaker. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm gonna need to take that off also. You know what, let me do that now while I'm thinking about it so that I do not forget. But we're going to work over here on the door panel first. Okay? Now, here on the door panel, we're going to work with the small mid-range speaker here. Again, T20 Torx, and we're just going, this is the original plug right here, and we're just gonna take this out. You see it's all plastic back here, whereas the new one is actually made out of metal and much nicer. All right. So unfortunately I'm using a pretty small tripod, so you don't have a very good angle. But what we're going to do is we're going to be taking these two screws off. That's all that's on there, holding that speaker in. So let's get in there. This one. Let me put it. I'll put it in the speaker box. There's two. Now if you look, speaker just pulls right out. Okay, so that is the original speaker. Let's get the new one again, just to show you guys what they look like. This one, here's the backs. Okay, and this is metal, whereas this is plastic. And then you see how Bruce already did a little pigtail connection with the proper connector on the end, making it easy to connect it right to the door panel once we put the door card back on the door. So we're going to line this up, and of course I just made mistake number one, where I did not look to see the orientation of the plug before I put it in. So I need to take a quick peek at the door just to make sure. But I believe it goes this way. If I remember correctly, I believe I can bring it around this way. So if I mount the speaker like this. Alright, now, usually what I do is recommend that you take some pictures. Since I'm videoing this, I don't have any pictures to take. But, this is literally just going to go down right here. Let's see. There are like two little posts right there that help to support it into place. And now we will take our screws. Actually, you know what? Before I take my screws, I'm going to do something. I'm going to use, I forgot that I also used some zip ties, which I need to grab real quick. Alright, so what I did was I just added a zip tie right here, so that I can just help secure that cable in place a little bit better so it's not flopping around. And just gonna clip off this end here. And that's good to go. Alright, next. Now we get to go to the woofer. Alright, now you see that the woofer is substantially larger than the speaker here. Yes, the full enclosure is the same size. It's like 6.5 inches or something like that. But the speaker in there is an oblong shape. I don't know if it's like a 2x5 or something. I don't know what it is, but it's strange. And we're gonna put something better in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these screws out of here. I've already unplugged my speaker connector so that I don't have to worry about that. So let's get to it. Again, use the same bit, T20. Sorry, I'm looking for a safe place to put it. Now I like to support it with my hand once I get that last screw out, but you don't really need to because there's some silicone on there from the manufacturer that's actually holding it on there. Alright, oops, forgot to take the clips off. Okay, there's just some plastic clips that help to hold that cable in place on the OEM housing. There's the speaker. There you can see the strange sizing of that speaker there. Okay. Put that down. And then in here, now you can see, and I'll show you some B-roll from the passenger side, but you can see that inside there's already some sound deadening material from the factory. It's pretty thin, but they did put some and it goes across here. It doesn't resonate too badly, but because I'm in here, I am just going to put a little bit more inside there. Now again, these Amazon Basic sheets are pretty decent. They're not expensive at all. And while they're probably not the best sound deadening, it's still something. You know, it's a nice dense material, kind of rubbery. It's got a sticky back on it, and you know, it will just be a little extra something, so there's no resonance there from any bass. So let me get my scissors. I'm just gonna cut. Let's see. What I'm gonna do is, since there's already some up there and it's kind of difficult to get up there, plus that's where the window drops down into and everything, I just don't want to mess too much in there. But there isn't any down here, right where the woofer is. There is a support beam right here, you know, a safety beam or what have you. But underneath of that, it's kind of echoey. So I'm just going to put a strip that goes across the bottom there. Should be fairly straightforward. I'm just going to eye it. Let's see, we'll make it about maybe that wide. I can always trim some off if I need to. Cuts easily with scissors. I mean, these are sharp scissors, but still cuts easily. All right. So here's our piece. It's gonna fit just right down inside there. I'll show you, do a little test fitting. Okay. And so I'm gonna just put it just underneath of where that beam is. Nothing special, just right there, so that there's a little extra sound deadening so that you don't hear that. All right. So what I'll do is I'll start it on one end. I'll get it in there, and then I will finish. I'll pull it down on the other end. Now, if you find that you've stuck it in a spot that you're not happy with, it does pull up pretty easily. So don't worry about that. And no, I don't have a roller because this was kind of a last minute thought, but I am going to just press it in using my fingers. Get any wrinkles out. Be careful because it's all metal inside of there. You do not want to cut yourself. So just, you know, take a minute or two and just press it all down to hopefully get it to stay. I don't think it's gonna pull up, but you never know. And if it does, I have plenty more sheets because that pack comes with, I think, 10 sheets in there, and I didn't even use one full one yet. And I've already done 2 doors now, and the only doors remaining would be the back doors. Alright, almost there, just getting some last little wrinkles out. Just to satisfy me. Okay, that's done. Now I'll show you what it looks like. You can see I just placed it in there, nice and easy. And then listen. See, it's not quite as echoey as it was before. All right, that is that. Now it's time to get the woofer. Now for the woofer, again, it's already pre-terminated by Miranda, and it literally fits perfectly right in here. Get that speaker wire out the way. I am going to, let's see, yes, that's good. Oh, I should put my screws a little closer. But I'm gonna start it with my hand first. Here's one. Oh, and you also notice that these speakers, they already have spacers. Okay, Bruce put together the mounting plate there, and so it's spaced perfectly for the door panel, very snug. And then he also put these drip panels on here also, or not drip panel, but like this drip ring here, so that any water that does come down, it just drips right around, doesn't actually get onto your speaker. Okay, that's two. We got two more. Again, when you put them in by hand, do it loosely because the tolerances are a little tight, which is good so that there's no movement, but that means you have minimal space to actually find the hole. So you want to put it in loosely so that you can kind of adjust a little bit if you need to. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the drill, put it back on number 2, very light, just to cinch it down a little bit. Just a little bit, not going all the way down yet. Okay, there's that. Now, this is where my little Velcro pieces come into play. Because again, we have these clips here, okay? They're plastic clips that we use to hold these speaker wires to the original mounting bracket, but we're not using it anymore, so there's no place to clip these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my trusty little Velcro here. Yeah, it's a bit cumbersome, but it works. Just a safety measure so that I don't run into anything like that. I have my choice of colors, and while I was feeling, you know, rather creative initially, I'm just gonna go with black so that it blends in nicely. So I don't remember where I got these from. I apologize, but I use them for my sim racing to hold my cables to my rig. So it's just Velcro, has a little loop that you can stick it through like that, and then you can just cinch it down. And so I'm going to use these for that purpose, and it's literally just to cover the plastic. All right, so all I'm going to do is come over here. I'm going to start on one side of that plastic clip right at the edge. I'm going to wrap around to the other side and come down. I'm going to tuck her in right here, cinch it up nice and tight Oops, I missed some of it. Hold on. Some people cut these off. I didn't want to cut it off just in case. For some reason, I decided to put the original speakers back in since they are fine. Some people tape them up. I didn't want to tape it up in case it gets too hot and then the tape gets gooey. So I'm literally just wrapping it in this foil there. And now if it hits, it's not going to make any noise. Alright, so there are 2 of those plastic connectors. I did the first one on camera, just finished the second one right there, and that is all set. Okay, now, yes, this is the clip that's going into the speaker, but there's no other tapping from that. So that's all done now. The last thing to do is I'm just going to secure this right here just to, you know, add a little extra protection. And so that's where my zip ties come in again. There's only one hole, it looks like, that I could, well, no, there's another one, but I think I can get away with just one. So I'm just going to slide this in here. Come on, get up there. Of course, now it wants to go. There we go. All right, and that's going to be right there. See that? Oops, that's not right. What's going on here, Chris? Let's turn it around. I have it facing the wrong way? Maybe. Let's try that again. These are very tiny zip ties, but they're perfect for applications like this where there's something up with this zip tie. Okay. New zip tie. Why are you trying to make me look bad on camera, zip tie? Let's try this one. Bring it up through that hole. Tuck it around the cable wire there. I'll show you real quick what I was just doing. Okay, it's just the zip tie here. Put it through that hole there, and then I'm going to there we go. We're just gonna cinch it up right here, and that's gonna hold these cables in place now. Since I don't have the clips, we'll snip that off. Done. And now I can just plug this clip in here. Done. That speaker is connected. Okay, now last thing to do is to put the door panel on, and we're all done. Remember, when we put the door panel on, you got to reconnect. I'll probably do this woofer speaker or the mid-range speaker first, and then I will do this door pull cable, since that's shorter and stiffer. And then after that, it's just a matter of getting all of the posts lined up again. You have this metal post here that kind of lines stuff up, and then these are the little metal clips that go all the way around, And then what I'm going to do is, and what you should do is, once you have everything connected again and the door panel, I guess, loosely on, because I am gonna secure it, because I do want to just test to make sure everything works, like including the window. So I'm gonna, put stuff on. I'm gonna test the window, test the door latch, as well as test the speakers and make sure that they're playing. Funny thing is, when I did the passenger side, I gotten everything together, and when I did my testing, everything worked except for the door latch. I thought it was a little loose. I connected it, but apparently I didn't connect it properly, and it popped off as I was putting the door card back onto the door. And so
then I had to take the whole thing off again and reconnect. So that's why, you know, through each step, you just try to pay attention to make sure that everything is secured. All right. Be back.
All right, last stages. I got the door panel fitted on here. Now you just be careful with the connectors and things, because again, there's a lot of stuff that's just made out of plastic, could be brittle and everything. You just don't want to break anything, because then you have to go back and replace entire wiring harnesses, and that's not something you want to do. So you just snap everything in snugly. Now we're going to put our screws back in. Again, I've got my clutch on too, so it's super light. Get a bit out of my ratchet. And also, I want to mention for those of you who have keen eagle eyes, I had forgotten to fully secure the mid-range woofer down before I put the card on, so I did that as well. But now we're just going to just snug her down. That's one. That's two. That's three. And now I will use my ratchet with my 1/4 inch bit, or a 1/4 inch socket, to go with my T20 bit, just to snug everything down again. Just snugging it down by hand, because nothing on here was too tight. That first bolt originally was a little tight, but none of these were that tight. So just hand snug it down. That's done. Now we get our carbon fiber trim piece. Remember that you have the angled side here. You want to fit that in first. Angle it to get it in. Carefully, nice and gentle. And then just press it in. Nice and easy. It's just plastic, so it doesn't require a lot of force to get it seated. And that's it. Now that feels like a door handle. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna test it. I'm not going to test it on camera because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So hold that thought. Okay, just tested the audio. Sounds great. Both mid-range and woofer are working nicely. And look at that. Window rolls down too. Okay, so that was a B&O door speaker install. Mid-range and woofer. And it really isn't that bad. The first time does take a while. I guess for the passenger door, it probably took me an hour to do it or so. As you can see, the second time, you know, with me fiddling with the camera, took what, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. I don't know how long it's been, but not bad. If I wasn't trying to record at the same time, I could have done it much faster. So, you know, and again, I'm a newbie. I have never taken a door panel off before, ever in my life, which is crazy. It was a little nerve-wracking too, but there are plenty of videos out there. There are plenty of forums specifically for your own car, a lot of times also, especially if it's a known concern that people have, is that, you know, the speakers aren't that good and they like to swap them out. Then there'll be a lot of people that are actually trying to do it. And so that's why I figured I'd do this quick video for you guys, let you guys see how the process works. Again, this is kind of vlog style, so I hope that the quality is good enough where you guys can see it. I'm just literally recording everything with my phone here because that's the simplest way to move around and to actually still get the job done, but get it all on camera. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. As always, if you liked this video and if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. You guys don't know how much that actually helps the channel and helps the videos. You guys know that we do car reviews on here as well, new product launches, as well as vehicle accessories. So by all means, take a look at that. I've got a few projects that I've done already with this car and that I still have in the plans to do with this car also. So keep an eye out for all of that. I will probably put this stuff in a playlist once everything is together, but for now, these are just isolated videos that I'm doing. So again, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you thought it was helpful or informational, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more content like this, you kind of like what it is that we do here at Auto Academics, then go ahead and subscribe. You know, join the club. You know, we've been doing this for a while, and well, we've been at a slow but steady pace, trending upward, but we want to keep going higher. Finally, hit that bell notification so you don't miss when we post the next video. I'm Chris from Auto Academics. Thanks for watching.